Okay, we will reconvene into open session at 5:44 p.m. And there is no report out from the closed session, nothing to report. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do have something to report. That's not it. That we completed Dr. Holtum's superintendent evaluation. And everything was at least satisfactory. All right. We will move on to item C, Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Now, item 5, comment session A, comments and announcements by board members. Was Lisa able to join us? Okay, I'll skip ahead here and we'll move on to Jessica Anthony.
I have no comment.
All right. Sandra Barnes.
I don't have any comments either.
Bill LeGrand.
I have no comment at this time.
Okay. I have no comment. And Lisa Torres, are you now online?
I am here. I have no comment.
You have no comment or you do?
No, I don't. Thank you.
All right, so then we will move on to comments and announcements by administration. Dr. Holtum.
First of all, I'd like to thank the board for a positive evaluation, and I'll be coming back next year. Thank you very much. Also like to welcome Troy Cox in the audience. Troy is going to be approved to be our next Janet or our next assistant superintendent. Also online tonight will be, and you can see her name up there, Patricia Leonard, who is going to be hopefully approved tonight as our new principal at Ishii Hills Middle School. And when we get to that point, maybe she'll have a chance to make a couple comments. But like to welcome them formally to our district. As we move forward, like to thank those who have worked for us in the past, including principals that are moving on, Ellen and Patrick, and wish them well. But also want to say a special thank you to Janet Hanley for her service in our district. We had a going away party for her a couple of weeks ago. But tomorrow is her official last day, and she has done an outstanding job for us the past 3 years. And I'm going to miss you professionally and personally. So thank you so much for your time, effort, and talents that you've given us these last 3 years. And Troy, no pressure. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And also, Janet will be reporting out on our visit with our DOJ monitor the last couple of days, but I'll just take a moment to say that we have a very, very positive report, a lot of great growth, and that goes to all of our staff that have worked so hard to continue to improve this district. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew James.
Good evening, everybody. There's a lot going on throughout the district as far as construction projects, hiring lots of new staff. So very, very busy time. So if you see any of the people like Spencer or Sandra who are involved with HR or any of our maintenance or operations guys, they are going 100 miles an hour. So busy time, very thankful for them. Not thankful for the heat this week. I know it's going to be terrible, but yeah, just thankful for that. And I wanted to say thank you to Janet. It's been a real joy working with you, and I've learned a lot. And I think we all share the frustration that you came right when the DOJ happened. And I feel like we could have, there were things I think we all wanted to do that we didn't get to. But we're glad that you were there to professionally and do a very good job with the Department of Justice, which is a very intimidating group of people. So I appreciate the help, and it's been really wonderful working with you.
Thank you.
Okay, and Janet.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the principals and the different schools, because in the springtime, they went through a process of going through what they call a TFI. And what they do is they look at their schools and they measure how well they're doing with the implementation of PBIS. And then they take that process of how they've evaluated their school. We have an outside evaluator who does it, which is Jessica. She's been a consultant for us. And then they submit it to the State Department, and then they get awards. And so we have 3 schools that moved into silver, and that was the 2 middle schools, Ishii and the studios at Central and Ophir are the 3 schools that moved into silver. And then we have 3 schools that moved up to gold. And that would be the other 3 schools, Wyandotte, Stanford, and who am I missing? Wyandotte, Stanford, and Oakdale. And so anyway, they moved up a level. And so that really took a lot of work to be able to move up a new level. So I just want to thank their staffs and them. It takes a lot of work and effort. I'm excited. I kind of think they're poised, and they'll probably be able to move up another level next year because they have a lot of pieces in place for it to continue to soar. So kudos to the schools for all the work on that one. I also wanted to say thank you to Shannon. She's been my administrative assistant for the last 3 years, and she's been fabulous. She's I call her radar, because sometimes, you know what you're going to ask for, and she already knows. And so she gets it for you, and she has it dialed in. She's been great with supporting us on technology and a variety of things. And then thank you for the board. It's been a pleasure to work in this district. I did come at a bad time, but it has been a pleasure to work with you all. And I've really enjoyed working with you, Andrew. He has been he absolutely adds great humor to our meetings, which I have dearly loved. And, but your knowledge, and you just make things done in a very low key way, and yet you accomplish so much. So, and it's been great to work with you on different things. So thank you very much for your support and help. And Dr. Holton, it has been a pleasure working with you also. I have enjoyed our discussions and our leadership and talking about where we're headed. And you have a great leadership style, and you listen to everybody. And I think that's fabulous. And I really appreciate being able to work with you and the desire you have to make this district great. So it's been very fun. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Janet. And on behalf of the board, I want to thank you for your 3 years of dedication to our students and our staff, and for leading the way with the DOJ. We do appreciate everything that you've done for us, and we wish you well.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Item C, comments by the public. At this time, the board will extend an invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on matters which are school related. For those attending remotely who wish to comment, use the raise your hand button to be called on to speak. Comments or questions may also be emailed to backpack@ocesd.net. Please include your first and last name in your email. Comments and questions received will be read into the record and or addressed during the meeting. However, comments received without the sender's name will not be shared during the meeting. Do we have any emails in Backpack to read?
No, we do not.
Okay, and we do not have any online hands raised, and I don't think we have any members of the public who wish to speak. So we'll move on to item 6, presentations. California School Dashboard Local Indicators Data Presentation.
So this is a mandated presentation that we do that always goes when we're getting our LCAP approved. And with this presentation, it really aligns with all the information that you guys have received in the LCAP. It reiterates the data that's in there, and it aligns our local measures with what the state measures are as well. Since you have seen the LCAP, the last board meeting, and it's a reiteration, and I sent you the PowerPoint, I'm just going to ask if you have some questions. I'd be happy to answer them about the PowerPoint. If you want me to put it up and go through some slides, I'm happy to. But rather than go through the whole presentation, I thought I would kind of just check in with you and see if you just have questions.
Board, any questions, comments, anything you need from Janet? All right, I think we're good with that.
Okay, great.
So we'll move on to item B, OCESD's progress in implementing DOJ corrective actions.
All right, so the last 3 years have been a matter of really taking a document that has over 40 items in it and getting it implemented into our district. So in March, when I decided that I was going to retire, we thought it would be a good plan to have them come and give us an update of where they're at. So then that way, when Troy came, it'd be very clean where we're at and what still needed to be done and what had been signed off. And so they came and did a visit in February, and they did, our monitor came in February, and our DOJ, the lawyers came in April. And between the two of them, they worked together and created the document that I have submitted that you guys have received. And it goes through all of the items. At first, I was going to do a quick little checkoff sheet just so you could see quickly, you know, how many items we did. And then I thought, well, no, just in case you really want to know more detail, you can really take a look at it. The other thing I included was just a kudos to the principals, because in order for this to have come out as positive as it did, and it came out very, very positive, we have met substantially in a variety of areas. But in order for that to happen, again, our school sites and really our principals did a lion's share of the work too, because they every month, I had sent you a copy of our timeline of what we submit month by month. And as you can tell, that's quite a bit of paperwork and quite a bit of documentation, and it takes them a lot of time and effort. So I just wanted to kind of highlight the great work that it took all of us in order to get to where we're at. And I want to read, so our monitor sent an email to us, and I want to read to finalize the report in terms of how she has described and summarized it all. Okay. So it says, Oroville City Elementary School District has made substantial progress towards compliance during the judgment term beginning September 2020 through the end of the 2023 school year. The district has made progress on all caps, all judgment items, with a majority of the items being substantially compliant and have been proven to be regional and national exemplars in implementing CR PBIS at the universal level. Northwest PBIS provides support to several school districts in California and Alaska that are working through a judgment. By far, OCESD stands out as having made the most progress the most quickly. The reductions in our school suspensions and increase in alternatives to suspension are extraordinary. The implementation in risk ratios indicating a reduction in disproportionality are impressive. I have no doubt that continuing these efforts and refining protocols at advanced tiers of support will result in continued gains in equitable social and academic outcomes. So very favorable report, and very appreciative that she has acknowledged kind of the progress that we've made. We're excited. I think next year, talking with Troy, he's been here for 3 days. In terms of moving forward, I think the district is really kind of heading into an exciting time, because you'll see that progress will go much faster now that we've got that foundation built. So do you guys have any questions?
Questions from the board, comments? I'm really pleased to hear the positive response from the DOJ, recognizing the efforts that you and our leaders and our staff, our teachers, and our students too have put into making these changes. And I know that it's been difficult at times, but it's worthwhile. And it's so nice to see that we've been recognized for those efforts. And I'm happy to hear that we have exemplary standards and that we are making the most progress the most quickly. And but what I think is also most important is that we do continue to make those gains in the progress, as she alluded to in her message. And I'm excited to see where we continue to grow with that. Thank you.
And congratulations to everyone.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Janet, for leading the way,
Well, thank you.
getting us to that point.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Item 7, action session A, public comments on action items. The board will extend an invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on items that are listed on the agenda. For those attending remotely who wish to comment, use the raise your hand button to be called on to speak. Comments may also be emailed to backpack@ocesd.net. Please include your first and last name in your email. Comments received that pertain to items listed on the agenda will be read into the record at this time. However, comments received without the sender's name will not be read. The Brown Act does not allow the governing board to discuss or take action on any item that is not on the posted agenda. Do we have any emails to read?
No, we do not.
Okay. And no raised hands
Oh,
online?
we do. We do have
We do.
someone on Zoom.
Fabulous.
So online this evening, we have Patricia Leonard, who is on our consent agenda under the personnel recommendation. There is Ms. Leonard on our screen before us. And at this time, Ms. Leonard, if you can kind of introduce yourself to our board as we would like to get to know you better. And I've invited her next month to be in person. She was unable to attend in person because she's in the process of moving into our area. But her last official day in the Bay Area was today, and so she was unable to make it to our meeting. So I'll turn some time over to you, Patricia.
Thank you, Dr. Holtum. Board of Trustees, it's so nice to meet you. As Dr. Holtum said, my name is Patricia Leonard, and I am a Butte County native. I went to Ophir Elementary and Las Plumas High School, and my entire family is there actually in Orville. So I'm very excited for this opportunity for homecoming, if you will, after 15 years of not being there. Professionally, I have experience as a middle school assistant principal where I was a co-administrator of a school of 900 students here in the Bay Area. Very diverse, very large school, a lot of safety and instructional leadership and all those components. So I do have experience in that as the middle school administrator. I've been an elementary vice principal as well as a special ed administrator. So I do come with a wide variety of experience in all areas. And I'm very excited to put that to work as the principal of Ishii Hills Middle School. And my new house is right down the street from Ishii Hills. So I'm going to be very local.
Well, welcome aboard, Patricia. Any comments from the board? All right, thank you. And we're glad to have you aboard.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A
I
second.
second.
Is there any discussion or questions on the consent agenda? All right,
We'll do a roll call. 'Cause we have-
we'll do a roll call since we don't have everyone here in person. So there's a motion to approve the consent agenda. Lisa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jessica,
Yes.
Sandra,
Hi.
Bill,
Yes.
and I'm I, so motion carries with 5 yes votes. Okay, item 9, business and finance. A is to adopt the original budget for the 2023-24 fiscal year.
So the original budget that I presented at the last meeting in public hearing, this is the same budget. There were no changes. There were a couple of small changes to the LCAP and the budget overview for parents after we had it reviewed by the county office that were immaterial. But there were no changes at all to the budget as presented.
Okay. Any discussion or questions from the board? Okay. This is an action item. So is there a motion to adopt the original budget for the 23-24 fiscal year?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right. Any other discussion or comments? Okay. All in favor? No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do roll
Aye.
call. Yes, so let's do Lisa Torres.
Yes.
Okay. Jessica Anthony,
Yes.
Sandra Barnes,
Aye.
Bill LaGrone,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries with 5 yes votes. Now, item B, approve the 23-24 local control funding formula budget overview for parents.
So this is mostly as presented last time. There were a couple of small changes to some of the budget numbers that needed to be updated after we returned it into the county office to review. But it materially is the same document.
Any comments or questions from the board? Okay, this is also an action item. So is there a motion to approve the LCFF budget overview for parents?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor? No, excuse me. Lisa Torres, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jessica Anthony,
Yes.
Sandra Barnes,
Aye.
Bill LaGrone,
Yes.
and I'm yes. So motion carries with 5 yes votes. Okay, item 10, curriculum and instruction. A, approve the 23-24 LCAP.
So again, there were a couple of very small changes that were immaterial to a couple of the numbers in the LCAP, but otherwise it's as presented last week. So
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Is there a motion to approve the LCAP?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Lisa Torres, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jessica Anthony,
Yes.
Sandra Barnes,
Aye.
Bill LaGrone,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. That's motion carries with 5 yes votes. Item B is to approve the 23-24 school plans for student achievement.
So we are submitting to you tonight the school plans for the 6 different schools. They have been developed with parent and teacher input and going through a process. And so tonight we're here to get approval on the school plans.
Any questions or comments from the board? As always, I appreciate the thoroughness and the time and attention that is given to each of these plans and their uniqueness and specificity to their needs at their site. And I'm impressed with them.
Good. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the board? Is there a motion to approve the 23-24 school plans for student achievement?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, Lisa Torres, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jessica Anthony,
Yes.
Sandra Barnes,
Aye.
Bill LaGrone,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So motion carries with 5 yes votes. Item 11, personnel. A is to improve employment contract for Assistant Superintendent, Curriculum and Instruction, Cox.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I'd like to ask Troy Cox to come to the microphone up front. Go ahead and hit the button.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Good evening, board, Dr. Holtum, Janet. Wanted to say, and everybody watching at home, wanted to say thank you for this opportunity. I've had a great 3 days getting introduced, learning what all the work that Janet has done and Dr. Holtum has done to have the Department of Justice information put in line, put processes in place. I look forward to building relationships so we can continue those. Those are processes that will definitely support and help our students, which is the reason why we're here every day. So I look forward to being a part of that, with the new principals getting to be there as a support. As far as my background, in Southern California, 13-year principal, special ed principal for the county, CEO for a charter school, and 7 years as a district office administrator for alternative ed, which included MTSS, PBIS, 504s as well. So bring some background that hopefully will help the process and continue it moving forward. So as I said, I look forward to having my family move up. We're in the process of moving houses on the market, showing it 3 to 4 times a day. It's pretty nerve-wracking for my family to have to leave, during the day to show. But we'll get through that, and we're looking forward to being up here closer to Oroville, and we are excited about the position, and I'm truly honored for the opportunity. So thank you.
Welcome. We're glad to have you aboard.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions from the board? All right.
Welcome.
Look forward to working with you in the coming years. All right, so we need to approve the contract. So it's recommended that the 3-year employment contract for Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction be approved as presented for Troy Cox. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, Lisa Torres, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jessica Anthony,
Yes.
Sandra Barnes,
Aye.
Bill LaGrone,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So motion carries with 5 yes votes. Welcome officially. All right, and item B is to approve subsequent variable term waiver for school social work for M. Johnson.
So Miranda is currently our school counselor at the studios at Central. She's currently finishing all of her pupil personnel service hours to secure her credential. We anticipate that she's going to actually be able to clear her credential by the end of summer, but just in case she doesn't quite get all her paperwork and hours done in time, we're doing a variable waiver so that she can start off the school year at the studios in the same capacity. One of the reasons why we're applying for this variable waiver, we do anticipate her finishing her hours that she's doing in summer school, but the CTC, which does the credentialing, is about 3 months behind right now. So we're just doing this to just be proactive.
Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, is there a motion to approve the subsequent variable term waiver for Johnson?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Lisa Torres, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jessica Anthony,
Yes.
Sandra Barnes,
Aye.
Bill LeGrand,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So motion carries with 5 yes votes. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 6:11 PM.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Lisa.
Good to see everybody. Even you, Bill.